Just a very short, brief information about me. I used to own the biggest hip hop label out of the United States, which was situated in Europe, and it was also the biggest dance music label out of in Europe or out of the US. And by the way, the United States is not a big place for the dance music phenomena at that time. I used to resurrect companies from going bankrupt. So they used to contact me like days sometimes before they were about to go bankrupt. And then I would resurrect them. In the music business and in the movie business, very possibly, if you go bankrupt, you lost all your rights. So by US law, it's not allowed to do that, but by European law, you are allowed to. You will lose all your rights. So, and also in many movie contracts, it says that if you go bankrupt for any reason, the movie rights are canceled or music rights are canceled. So people would have a heart attack because if they go bankrupt, um, they will lose their rights. This does not necessarily rule in the United States. So what do we do? I'll just say very briefly, so we don't think it's all about us. We distribute over 3,500 films. We invent new ideas for distribution, and we also provide consultancy services and other things like that. We also advise people on running um, drive-in concerts very cheaply. So we are not trying to sell you anything. If you go and you make a fortune, I'm happy for you. That's it. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just might mention some of our products very briefly, but I'm not trying to sell you anything. And also, a book is written with all the principles mentioned in all the different classes. So there's no business like show business or movie business because you could be totally anonymous, and then the next day you are such a worldwide name. The most classic story is the lady who did Wonder Woman. She was, like maybe a B class, C class type of an actress, and then she did Wonder Woman, and she became possibly the biggest or one of the biggest actresses in the world. So that's the movie business. One day you are a C person, a D person, whatever, B, and the other day you become a super 8 person. I'm going to put the chat on. Okay, well, I'm not going to. So the what I'm going to be talking about will be approximately an hour and 15 minutes or whatever, and I'm going to go do a general overview. Then I will get some questions from the chat, and then you can have internal discussions between people attending this webinar. Um, I don't have a problem that people will make contacts with each other and actually promote it. So let's talk about the principles of movie marketing. Finally, we got to that. Um, First of all, you have to be focused. You have to be focused on who you're going to be marketing your film to, and we're going to go into it in a minute. And you also have to look in yourself and say, what are the movies? What are the principles I'm doing this movie? For example, a friend of mine, my best friend, he died last year, unfortunately, 2 years ago, actually. He said he was just a regular guy doing his thing, my best friend. And he said, I'm not going to die before I do a movie. So one day when he was pretty old, I would say, relatively speaking, he decided to do a movie. He found somebody who invested $250,000, and he managed to put together a whole movie, which was quite not a bad movie. I actually have the rights to the movie because he gave it to me before he died. Um, so this was a motive. He didn't want to be Steven Spielberg. He didn't want to be a big director. He didn't want to do anything. He just wanted to do a movie. That was his shtick, and he did it. But there's many other motives, which we'll discuss in a minute. So one motive is, and you might ask, why are we talking about motives even? And the answer is because once you understand what is your motive, then you can also focus your marketing on the crowd that you want to appeal to, right? Because you have to have a motive. If you don't have a motive, then don't do it. So the main motive a lot of people want to do is they want to earn a lot of money. Maybe is another one. You want to be famous. Maybe if you're a director or producer, you want to be the next producer. And there's a very funny film by Woody Allen, and in that movie, I'm a huge fan of Woody Allen. Not everybody is, especially with all kinds of so-called revelations about him, but whatever. Um, so there's a very funny movie with him that he is trying to be a producer, and suddenly he goes blind when he's filming. So he had some character who was his eyes to do the film. Naturally, the film came terrible, and he couldn't see the film because he became temporarily blind. It's very funny, but he had to hide the fact that he was temporarily blind. So somehow or another, people thought that he was basically able to do the job, but he wasn't. He was in front of the camera, but some dude was actually his eyes. So obviously, the film came terrible. And at the end of the film, the question was, he was asking himself, who's going to take me for the next film? I wanted to be a big producer or a big director. Who's going to take me? I'm blind. And then his friend reads the newspapers from France that in France they saw the film and they thought that he was a great producer. So they will possibly choose him to be a producer director of a film there. So that could be a motive, right? Or you want the world to recognize you as the new Steven Spielberg, right? You also, another thing, you want to impress your girlfriend or wife. I know it sounds crazy, but I used to go to China a lot because we marketed lots of films to China. I'm a China specialist. Right now, that market is dead temporarily, hopefully. And I had a friend there who was a multimillionaire, and he didn't know what to do with himself with his money, actually. So he married a lady that she was, a money grabber. She was an actress, and she wanted him to do a film with her. That was a condition to get married to him. And they got married, and he did the film for her. They cost $1 million to make, and she was the main actress, obviously. So that's a motive too, So based on that, you can decide how you're going to be marketing your film. If you want to just impress your girlfriend, then when you did the film, you already impressed her, and maybe you want to get all of her whole family, or in this case in China, to come and watch the film. But by that, you're finished. And also in the music business, I had cases where multimillionaires did a remix of a song, or they did a song, and then I asked him, "Are you going to market the song or whatever?" He says, "No, I don't care. I'm going to sit in my living room, and I'm going to hear the song every week. That's all I care about. I don't care that nobody will hear it." So it depends on your motives, what you want to do. Then focus is another story. That's the most important thing. You want to analyze who's your customer, and I'm going to call um, people to come to watch your film customers, because they are customers. A guy who comes to your film, a person, a man, a woman, is a customer. They could be good for a $100 business. Years ago, when I just started streaming films, and I was a real pioneer, I went and solicited the idea to everybody in the business, all kinds of movie companies, even studios, whatever. And they all rejected the idea because they all thought that online is not going to make them any money. They thought it was some sort of a joke. I wasn't even accepted to the IFTA, which is the Association of Independent Distributors, because they sent me letters, which I have copies of course, that digital streaming of movies is not a business. So I don't qualify to be a distributor. Can you believe that? How crazy it is? So that's the price you get when you're a pioneer. So what happens is that you need to analyze who's your customer. You need to analyze, and the moment you start thinking of a guy that goes to your film as a customer, then you start treating him with respect, right? I mean, it's not because I think that a guy who comes to your film is good for up to $100 or more, even, of business. So if somebody came to you and said to you, "Do this or that, I'll give you a bill of $100." I don't know. You might be jumping in the air to get $100, right? I mean, people go crazy and they go to sales of things and stand in line blocks just to save a few dollars, or Black Friday or whatever. So obviously, you got to treat the person who goes to a film as a customer and give him respect as a customer. He's no longer just a dude or a woman that going to see your film, and you don't care for them. They are gold. They're a piece of gold. They're a walking money bomb for you. You can even make more money from them. So once you start thinking that way, things start working better. And and the reason why I was talking about my business with soliciting different movie companies at the time is that I once had um, a video call, which at that time was a pioneering thing to even have a video call. I don't know how we managed to do it, maybe Skype, with a very big studio, very, very famous. And I showed to them that somebody who goes to a so watches a digital film is a customer, and I just told him he's worth a lot more than $15 price of a ticket, uh, and and they thought I was crazy, you know. So now the next thing is you might have to change your film based on feedbacks and opinions, and I'm talking about basically marketing. So if you're going to show your film to people and you're going to ask them, please give me an opinion about the film, but tell me the truth. Tell me the worst thing you can tell me. You got to do it. It's market research. You gotta do it. And I'm gonna tell you a story from my movie, from my music business. So I was trying to save another company from going bankrupt. This is my WhatsApp or something. I was trying to save a certain company from going bankrupt some time ago, actually 20 years ago. And the company would have gone bankrupt if we didn't pay money to pay for royalties for a certain song. They had a song. The song was number one actually all over Europe, but then it dropped because we didn't pay the royalties, and the guy demanded that we take it off the air until we pay him royalties. I know how crazy that sounds. I mean, we didn't take it off the air, but we stopped marketing them. So I had to make a decision. Am I going to take the last $400,000 of this company in the bank and pay the royalties, and then this song will save our company? We'll go back to number one or whatever. And I went and I studied. I went to a lot of nightclubs in Germany where the company was situated, and I asked all kinds of people, "Do you like the song? Do you don't like the song?" I even asked my little children at the time, "Do you like the song? Do you don't like the song?" All kinds of people, and everybody said it's a smash. It's number one. It's a great song. Now I didn't like the song. I actually didn't like the song. I found out that in the music business, when I like a song too much, it's not going to be a hit. So I have to semi hate it to make it a hit, because you have to be, you have to be uninvolved. So I did go and pay the last $400,000 for this film. And by German law, if you are managing a business and you make a fatal flaw, you could end up in jail because you caused the company to go bankrupt. So I took a huge chance on my freedom, and I decided to go ahead and pay the royalties for the song, and the song became number one, a huge hit. So you do have to pay attention to feedbacks and opinion. And maybe you have a friend who has a private movie projection room in his house, and lots of people do right now. And you want to call your best friends or your best enemies, whatever, and have them watch. So who's your customer? You want to know for this particular film you have. Is it men? Is it women? There's all kinds of customers for different films. Like for horror films, believe it or not, women are the customers. Many more women watch horror films than men. Why? I don't have a slightest idea. If we go back to music, the biggest buyers of hip hop music is not Afro American people. It's actually white ladies. It's crazy, right? So that's your crowd, right? Same thing with the film. You have to investigate who is the one who's very interested, their age, location, the time they're watching it. It's important, and then you want to advertise to them. And I will give you an example of a certain film that we had, and we put it on YouTube. Um, we are not doing it anymore. We're not doing any free movies with YouTube anymore for many years now. And we wanted to market this film so more people will watch it. So I looked up the uh, YouTube statistics, and I found out this was an action film. And I found out that the number one cluster of people watching it was actually in Los Angeles, of all things. It was mostly men between the age of 35 to 46. Um, and usually they watch it at night, a certain night, and stuff like that. So we focused our business on marketing to them. So if we ever marketed on the film, which didn't exist at that time, this kind of thing, Facebook, or I mean, it did exist, but we didn't advertise on it. Then I would want to advertise catering to these people, because when you advertise on Facebook or even Google or other different advertising mediums, you can analyze who's your crowd. Now, the best way to do market research and find out a lot of information on who's going to watch your film is YouTube, because um, YouTube can give you a very quick analysis of what's going on. Um, so you have to have a great trailer. I'm not mentioning it here because it's in my other courses. The trailer is your number one business card. You need to have an amazing trailer. Remember that trailer is how everybody's going to judge the movie by. I'm so sorry. I'm going to shut off the phone. So the trailer is your number one way to market your film. You need to spend maybe as much as $3,000 to have a trailer specialist put together a good trailer of your film. If you want to do a trailer with iMovie or one of those cheap ideas, ain't going to happen for you. You're going to lose. The trailer is everything. The trailer is what you're going to do with IMDb. The trailer is what you're going to do on YouTube. The trailer is how you're going to show distributors what you're doing. You could even get down payments for your film just based on the trailer. As a matter of fact, if you want to get investors, you may want to start with a trailer, some sort of a demi trailer of what the movie is all about, and then you might will help you get investors. So the trailer is everything. And once you got the trailer, now you can do your market research. You can show it to people. You can put it on your phone, and everybody you meet, you can show them proudly what you're doing. Um, and go and do it and put it on YouTube. YouTube is, in my opinion, the best place to do market research for your film, because if you're going to have just 5 people watch it after a week, you got a problem. If you and As an example is that when we used to be on YouTube very heavily, we had 17 million people watch within 1 week. Um, this paranormal, whatever it is, film that was made for $15,000 in a bedroom in San Diego, and went on to become a film that brought hundreds of millions of dollars. How did we know that film was going to make it? Because we were allowed to show the trailer, and within a week there was 17 million people that watched the film. Not the film, sorry, the trailer. So so we knew this is going to be big. Okay, so the trailer is a very, very, very important thing for you in order to promote your film. It's everything. Spend all your time to get a good trailer, a really, really good trailer. At the end of the trailer, make sure that people can find you. So if you're on YouTube, you can have information below the video, but you can also have a QR code. Right now, every camera of just any modern phone has a QR thing built into the camera, built into the phone. So you can just, the moment you have your camera, your phone, just take a picture of the QR code, and bingo, it goes to the website. So make sure that when you do a YouTube thing, have a QR code so people can go to your website, which we will discuss soon. Now, here's a little calculation why somebody goes to your film is a customer. Okay. First of all, I'm writing that the view cost is $10. Now, it's really an average cost because, first of all, you can maybe it's going to go to a movie one day whenever we're going to have theaters again. But we do have drive-in theaters right now that operate, amazingly enough. They're not big time, but they operate. And usually they price it per car, not per person. So a car could cost $40. So if there's four people in the car, it's $10 a piece. So I'm just writing the average cost is $10. You could also do a special showing of the film, which I will discuss in another seminar. Somebody I know who's movie star from the past did some sort of a film. He tried to market it to the studios, but he wanted a fortune of money as a down payment. So everybody turned him down. So he joined up with some multimillionaire from somewhere that decided to invest money in just doing a one-off viewing of the film, just like a boxer or something like that. He spent $300,000, no less, but I'm sure you don't have to spend that kind of money. And he got this ex-movie star in many big TV shows with a PR firm. They can do that. And then he did a one-off showing of the film at the cost of $20. That included also a sign on the Sunset Boulevard on the Strip. And lo and behold, 34,000 people watched this film, and they paid $20 a piece. So within 1 hour, the guy was richer by $780,000, or maybe 740. I don't remember. So imagine. So that's why I'm writing average cost $10. Merchandising is very heavy. You can sell merchandising. You should plan your movie in advance to have merchandising. So merchandising can bring as much as $30,000. Um, Popcorn. If, for example, you have a deal with the theater or you have your own drive-in theater that you're going to run up, you can sell them popcorn and drinks. Popcorn and drinks is at least $20 actually. But I'm just giving very low figures because things have been mixed up because there's no theaters. But there could be drive up. There could be other ways that you can make money. You could possibly do a digital premiere, and there is ways that you can sell drinks too. So I'm not going to go into right now. Then, if they like your movie, they may go and see it again. So it's another $10. And then there's a sharing value. If they like the film, they're going to tell people to watch the film. So that's worth $10, isn't it? So you can very easily reach $10, $100, and much more even. And this is again, movie $10, merchandising 35, whatever, and then merchandising second film. So you can be at $120. You think it's a dream? Check what the studios are doing. The big studios, that's their business. I met a Chinese company in China that does animations, and not only they have a huge building for their business, but in the bottom of the building they actually have a museum for merchandising, and they have no less than 3,000 items of their films. It's a museum in the bottom of the building. It's in Shenzhen, which is next to Hong Kong. If you ever go to Hong Kong, let me know. I'll tell you how to find them. Furthermore, they have theme parks all over China, with the merchandising and figures or whatever it is from their animations. So they're making a huge, huge business. They're not known in America, and I'm not sure they ever had a big film here in the United States. This is another case where I brought just assumptions, but let's say you didn't make that much money. So if you want to market the film, first of all, study marketing of products. When you start thinking of people that go to movies as customers, then obviously they're buying a product. What's a product? The product is you, the film. It's a product. Obviously, the film has a lot of emotional value to it, and you might, and like in a song is judged by an emotional, the emotional trigger that it does to you. If you listen to a song and you identify with it, and it's really beautiful words, then you might want to hear the song or buy it or whatever. Same thing is with the film. It's a product. The product in this case is pegged to your emotions and the emotions it creates in people. but it's still a product. So study the marketing of other products, any product. I'm not saying study how to sell chocolates, but whatever. Um, Study the advertising world of Facebook and Google. You can advertise on Facebook very cheap. I don't guarantee you that people will answer you. Facebook will necessarily watch the film, but if it costs to get a customer to contact you, we'll talk about it in a minute, is going to be, let's say, $1, and you think you can get out of a customer $100, then if one person out of 100 that contacted you is going to go and see a film, you broke even, don't you? And I know this kind of thinking is not very common, but that's how it works. It's ROI. What is the value of somebody going to see a film versus advertising? So there's all kinds of advertising that's very cheap. One of them, amazingly enough, is advertising on YouTube. YouTube is actually the second biggest search engine in the world. So if you search something on Google, the first things that will come up in most cases is different videos that cater to that whatever search you do, because Google and YouTube is one thing. It's the same company, and whatever comes out from the search will be they're going to look on YouTube. So YouTube is a fantastic place to advertise, and it's not that expensive like other places. Um, and the beauty of it is that if you want to advertise your horror film, for example, you could advertise on top of another horror film that's already on it. That has so you find a horror film, let's say, that has millions of people watching the trailer. You could put your advertising on top of it. So now you're hitting the right crowd, the people who watch horror films, and you advertise on top of their film. I know it sounds crazy, but you can do it. So it could be that the people with the horror film will specify they don't want any of that kind of thing to happen, but in most cases they don't even think about it. So you can do that, and it's not that expensive. So advertising on Google, YouTube is a smash. Now you need you need to think in terms of information. For example, I'm sure, and all of you have been, or most of you have been hit with different propaganda of people trying to sell you real estate courses, or how to make a big fortune by flipping houses or whatever. Obviously, most of these courses are useless because there's no way you can sit at home and buy real estate all over the United States, sight unseen. That just doesn't work. And if it works, you're not going to make a fortune. You're probably not going to make any money. You're going to lose your money most probably, especially if the market takes a downturn. But you can learn a lot of things from what they do. And one of them is that they promise you all kinds of goodies in order to get your email. Because once they get your email, they're going to bombard you. Some of them are very stupid. They send me 20 emails a day, not a week, not a month, 20 emails a day. And I just put them in the spam folder. I try everything, and I cannot block them because they even use different emails in order to mix me up. So there's something to learn from them, though. Don't bombard your customers, but they do give you something in exchange of your email, because your email is property, is worth a lot to them. And what you want to do is, when you start marketing your film, is get as many emails as possible of people that have watched your trailer, that maybe watched your film, that might be interested. It's beyond the scope of this particular webinar here. So try to get as many emails as you can, and it's called funnels because you can actually arrange that when they click on get more information, it goes to some other location, which is called landing page or funnels, and then it will give you some kind of a thing. It could give you, maybe you want to do an ebook of your film with 20 pages or 10 pages, and you want to give it to them for free. Okay, or something else that's going to attract them to give them your email, because all of them ask for the email in return for giving something in return, usually a digital promise. If it's a case of pharmaceutical companies that want to sell you bullshit pills and stuff, they'll say, okay, we'll sell you the pills for only $1 plus shipping, but of course they have your email. So it's extremely important that you will get the emails of people, get as many emails as possible. And I do discuss all this in more detail. But one way to do this is collect business cards, make yourself business cards, exchange business cards with anybody you meet, anybody in your church, synagogue, anywhere you go. Just get business cards and emails of people. And then you can buy a machine from Amazon for $136 that you can, it's a scanner, a business card scanner. It's really good. You can contact me for details. Of the name, I didn't put it in here. And then you just put your the business cards in that machine, and within a second it scans it and puts it in the database. So if you went to a party, you met 20 people, you have no patience to type all this information. Just slide this business card and machine, and you can get a collection of all the emails. Make it your business to collect as many emails as possible. If you got to let's say 10 to 40,000 people that you have their emails by different and mutual efforts. Um, if 10% went to see your film, that's good, right? So if you got somehow by miracle 40,000 emails, let's say 5,000 of them will watch your film. Remember that each one of these customers is worth $1,000, $100 possibly, right? So that's income. Plus they may have each one of them a bunch of friends. Think of everyone who does watch your film and likes it as a cluster. Somebody who can now tell 2 to 10 friends, go watch the film. Like, for example, I saw a very good trailer of a film called French Exit, which has one of my favorite actresses, Michelle Pfeiffer. I told all my friends about this film. I said, I'm so excited. Finally, Michelle Pfeiffer has a new film that I know of. The only problem is it's only available at little drive-ins, so that's stupid. But I did tell everybody about it, right? Another thing that's very powerful is mobile phone number, because you can get very cheap SMS services that charge between 2 and 4 cents a text, and you can now start texting. And I'm not going to go into this right now in this webinar, but only in one of the next ones. But you can advertise to them different things without aggravating them. So if you have, again, 50,000 people and you send them text messages and it costs you 2 cents a piece, that's pretty cheap, isn't it? So it's a very good business to text them different notices throughout the time. And always remember, every customer is good for $100. Now, let's suppose somebody went to the film and somehow you have this film, somebody watched it online. That's even better, because you can text them about merchandising, about your next film, uh, different things, but never bombard them. Do maximum of 2 a month. Um, if you can't get, a lot of people are very arrogant and say, you know what, look me up on LinkedIn, look me up on Facebook. They think it makes them important. Or look me up on forgot the latest messaging thing. Forgot the name of it. So they tell you look me up and all that thing. Okay, do it. Look them up on Facebook, look them up on LinkedIn, and add them to your mailing list. And you can contact a lot of people on LinkedIn or Facebook in one time. And I'm not going to go into this right now. But one way I'm mentioning here is that you can go to a site called Fiverr, not Fiverr. I'm sorry, it's Fiverr, and it's a fantastic site where you can find all kinds of people that want to work very cheap, not for Fiverr usually, a real Fiverr, but whatever. At the time when they found it was a Fiverr, and you can actually have them send messages to everybody you know on Facebook or LinkedIn. Note that even if you have 5,000 friends on Facebook, just because you posted something does not mean that they will see it, because purposely Facebook does not want all of them to see it. So you will have to pay money to Facebook to advertise all your friends. But it's not going to be that much money, so it's really worthwhile. So I did mention what is the email funnel, and that's not done very much. I've never seen it yet in the movie business or even the music business. So, anyways, a very good site to do an inexpensive because what happens is that email companies they charge you money every month, and then to do a funnel you have to pay another company that does the funnels. One of them is called Kartra, for example, but it's very difficult to learn how to use them. Just Google the word funnels and you'll see endless companies that offer funnels. Funnels again mean that once somebody contacted you will automatically send them something or sell them something. But a very good site is called Sendinblue. They already have funnels built in and they charge their base charge is $66 a month. But the beauty thing about them is that you can put unlimited amounts of people because other mail companies charge you by the number of people that you post there to send, but Sendinblue does not. So it's a very good company. Um, there's other companies, and anybody who contacts me, I'll give him some other companies that don't even charge a monthly fee. Um, so most of these funnel companies, they give the client a gift of some sort, or they mail them a gift. That's more difficult to do, so they have to charge a mailing charge. And the main thing, and that's everything, is get the email and text number. Once you got the email and text number, that's worth gold. Another thing is that um, you should use a CRM. CRM means a contact management system. Some of them are free, and some of them cost $25 a month. I want to recommend one that I like very much, but it's hard to use, but it's a great one, very powerful. It's called Zendesk Sell, and their base price is $25 a month if you pay monthly, or about $59 a month if you want to have one major feature, which is that you can send emails to everybody on the list or to some people. It's sort of a mailing program, but it's based on different clients and different criterias. So you don't need the $59. You can just use the 25, and on it you will put all your clients. And when you speak to a client, you will simply put notations. When I say client, I mean you'll speak to a distributor, you'll speak to somebody who wants to distribute your film in the United States, you'll speak to people, let's say at Amazon, all kinds of people. And you should put a note next to their name on the CRM so you can find them later on. Or maybe you want to mail them, right? Maybe if you spoke to 25 distributors all over the world, you want to mark that in the CRM so you'll send them specific email. And that's when Zendesk is really, really good. Um, so if you go to parties, which unfortunately right now is not happening, not much, but soon everything will open up and parties should be back again. So when you go to a party, try to give as many emails as business cards as you can, as I mentioned before, and whatever. There is some secret publications that you can find or contact me. I'll give you their names. That when the parties happen, they actually give you a listing of all the parties in Hollywood, LA, if you're in LA, and maybe in other cities too. And then you can actually start going to parties. You can also find parties by looking on Twitter and keying a few words there, and you can find parties. And it doesn't mean that you have to go and drink and go crazy, because actually, when you go to a party, try not to drink so your head is still level. But it's a very powerful way to meet people, and also you should throw parties. Um, Technically, you can throw parties now if it's outdoors, so that's a possibility. Um, then another trick you can do is, which is extremely powerful, is delayed text. Delayed text is that you can program the text program to actually send the text later. So you can prepare different text messages um, to be sent in the future. And this way you don't have to think about it. It's a no-brainer. So today you're sending a text to everybody about something that's going on with the movie, and I'm not going to go into it now in this webinar. But it will send a delayed text in a week, and it's effortless about something else that's going to go on. Alternatively, if you met some person and he's interested in buying from you, then it's very good to send him a text. It was nice meeting you, blah, blah, blah. When I say buying, I mean to say license your film or some other business. And then you can immediately program, and that's with Android phones. I don't know about the Apple phones at this time. You can program in there something a week from now, that will send them, did you think about my offer? Did you see my film? Did you see my trailer? This is very, very powerful because it's a no-brainer. And then you can put even more delayed text. This works very well. For example, I'm talking to a guy, and this is a real life example. I'm talking to a guy right now about licensing his technology for our movies, but he doesn't have it ready yet. And I have to, prod him. I have to contact him all the time to see what's going on. I got tired of it. So I prepared a lot of delayed text messages, more than 10, spaced by 1 week each. And in each one of them, I'm asking what's going on. Obviously, each text is different. And lo and behold, he answers them. So I'm in touch with him, effortless. It works. So delayed text is a very, very, very potential weapon for you when you try to market to specific people. When I say specific people, I mean to say a distributor, different people that you are trying to do business with as far as your movie goes. Now, this is just one of many crazy marketing ideas, so I'm going to go over them. First of all, when you have a script for a film, it's not that hard to convert it into a book and then market the book. So suddenly the book could be on Amazon. That's very powerful. A, you have a book at Amazon, that's good. B, people that read the book are very likely to go and see the movie. So obviously you can mention that in the book. And C, you might become somebody of a specialist because of the book. You might be invited to different occasions, parties, whatever. And it's very easy to do because just to say in a nutshell what will cost you thousands of dollars is all you have to do, not all, but very easy to do it is you can just convert the script by simply reading the script, but changing it into regular language. And then you can dictate it to somebody in Fiverr for very little money. You can actually dictate the whole book to somebody in Fiverr for like $20. It sounds amazing, but that's how cheap it can be. And then, of course, you can hire another book editor on Fiverr, and he's going to edit the book for you. And then suddenly you have a book. So it's not that much work to do anymore because anybody can write a book and upload it to Amazon. Then you can go on book tours. So in a strange way, when you go on a book tour, you are promoting the film because obviously you're going to mention the film. So people will be very interested. So now you got money from people both ways. A book can bring you the following. One, people buy the book, right? So that could be, let's say you want to sell it cheap. So you want to sell it for, let's say, Kindle price $9.99, which is the most of the Kindle books are that price. You want to sell the actual book, which could be $19.99, and you can also sell audio version of the book, which could be anywhere from $5 to $20. Now, the interesting thing is that when I buy a book that is really interesting to me, I personally usually buy books now on audio because I'm in LA. LA is long distances to drive, so I love to hear books when I drive, and it's really very, very useful. But when I hear a book, I also want to buy the actual book if I really like it. So I also end up buying the book, or I may end up even buying the Kindle version of it because I want to copy segments from it for whatever reason I want. So imagine I could end up buying the book, the audio version, and whatever, and it could be no less than $30, $40 I spent on this one book. Imagine on top of it that somebody went to see the film related to the book. You're talking about gold, right? I know all sounds crazy, but it's very, very doable. And we do give consultation service on how to do this step by step. You can also do a podcast. It's very, very, very easy to do a podcast. There's many apps that you can download from the Android store or the Apple store, and you can have a podcast. You can do a podcast about something related to your movie. For example, let's suppose that you want to promote your horror film. You may want to do a podcast about reviews of horror films that just came out. It's hard to believe, but it's so easy to do. It's beyond belief. All you have to do is talk to your phone, and they will distribute it to many sites that actually show podcasts. Then you can actually advertise your podcast to everybody who's in touch with you. You can put it in the bottom of your email, and they're going to start listening to you. So if you have the energy to do a once a week or once in 2 weeks a podcast, that's very, very, very powerful. And you can also invite guests to your podcast. Imagine they don't have to come and see you; it's all digital. So you can call somebody and you can interview them. Podcast is really, really powerful way. That's why Spotify just paid like $100 million for a podcast company. Um, I'm going to tell you a story about how I met a guy, how I tried to promote something to a guy called Bob Geldof. Bob Geldof is an ex-member of a very famous group in England. And Bob Geldof is a businessman or whatever in the music business. And he was trying to promote something like, if you remember 20 years ago, there was something called We Are the World. There was a big music festival worldwide. So he was trying to promote the second one, and I wanted to meet him because I wanted to introduce to him a singer, a song I have by a famous singer, which even has uh, um, voice tracks by Sting. So I didn't know how do I find this character, Bob Geldof. But then I read somewhere that he's doing a book signing in a store in London. I lived in London 17 years. So I put the song on a CD. Now, when I got there, there were many bodyguards because he's a big personality, at least there in England, and they wouldn't let us do anything. You were supposed to just go, show him the book, he signs it, and walk off. Similar to the soup Nazi in Seinfeld. Anybody who saw a soup Nazi in Seinfeld will remember how when you want to get the soup, you're allowed to just say 5 words, get the soup, you must walk off, get your bread, and go away. This was sort of similar to the Bob Geldof thing. But I decided I'm going to bypass that and I am going to give him my song. So what did I do? I put the song on a compact disc, which today it's almost like a passe. And I met him with the book. I had to buy the book, which is really sad. And it was a book about, I think, animals in Africa or some kind of thing. And and then when I gave him the book, I slipped the CD to him and I said, Bob, as if I know him, this is a great song for your upcoming thing. And the guards did not even pay attention. I mean, it's normal that you'll say a few words to him. It's not totally soup Nazi. You are allowed to say a few words. So he really smiled and took the CD and he heard it. Okay, he didn't take my song, but at least I gave it to him. So you can meet different people in very crazy ways. And you have to make a list of people that might be very beneficial to you for your marketing of the film. And that will be discussed in another webinar, how to make a list like that. But suppose there's a list of that you do have a list of people that are very crucial to your film. Um, then there's many different ways to meet them, because normally if you write them a letter or even contact their lawyer, they're not going to meet you. There's also a book about how to meet anybody, and if you want, send me a message, and I will tell you the name of the book, and it gives you some very interesting ways to meet people, anybody, even the president of General Motors. Movie critics is very critical for you. So you should really try to meet them. They're very, very important. Try to get their interest, buy them lunch, get them, get PR on Fiverr. You can pay about $150 to some specialist on Fiverr, and they will compose a press release and send it to very powerful newspapers that are worldwide on the internet, famous ones, and then your film will be mentioned in literally millions of pieces of information for $150. So this is a very, very cheap way to get your movie on interest. People will be interested, and of course, make sure that you have a beautiful trailer. You can go and see it on YouTube. Remember, if a guy sees a trailer of yours and the trailer looks bad, you burnt the customer. You ain't gonna. He's never gonna see your film. If you got a great trailer, he's gonna go and see your film, and he's not gonna be unhappy because you gave him a demo. The demo is the trailer, so he's not gonna be angry with you. Obviously, if you do a trailer of a funny movie and the movie is all about slashers, then he's gonna get mad. So make sure that the movie critics understand what the movie is all about. An example is that I once saw an article in the LA Times about a great movie, very funny, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I really like funny movies. So I drove to see the movie. I parked the car, cost money, blah, 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 gas. traffic jams. LA is like that at that time. Now we don't have as many as traffic jams as we used to. I went in, I bought a ticket, popcorn, all that cost about $75 at the end if you go with somebody. But lo and behold, the movie was not funny. The movie was actually a very lousy movie, nothing to do with funny. Somehow or another, the trailer or whatever they tried to see was misleading, including this newspaper articles was misleading. Maybe they based it on the trailer. I don't know. So never do this kind of thing. Don't deceive people. Be honest. Give them what you're promising to give them. You can get list of reporters, and this is a whole story how to do press releases and all that by yourself. But I'm not going to go into it right now. Uh, think out of the box. For example, let's suppose that you go to the film festival in Cannes. Um, we have about five very normal times, five very critical film festivals a year, and that's going to be a subject of another webinar. And you should definitely take those festivals or markets very very seriously because that's going to be crucial to your success. Um, for example, one of them, the best one in my opinion, is the film festival in Cannes. And the good times it used to be 10 days. They cut it, I think, to nine, but I don't remember. And there's so many opportunities that you can advertise your film there for free or very cheap. So, for example, you can run a party. A party at the film festival is not going to cost you as much as you think. Again, I'm not going to discuss it right now, but you can run a party for probably as little as $1,000 at the film festival, and lots of people will come to your party. And it's going to be very, very beneficial for you. Not to mention all the business cards, because at the entry to the party, every single person that comes in has to give a business card. So now you have the emails, the phone numbers, whatever. So um, uh, they said about Borat that he walked around the film festival dressed with just some kind of, I don't know, underwear, and they attracted a lot of attention. What did that cost him? Nothing. But everybody wrote about him that he was walking all over Cannes Festival just dressed like that for advertising. He's got no fear. That's why he's probably a very rich man. So you should think out of the box how to promote yourself in different ways. And one of them is the film festivals, which I'm going to discuss in another webinar. Uh, Try to appear on podcasts and talk shows on the internet, which is a lot easier to do than in real life. So if you see a very interesting webinar related to your film subject, you can write them an email and just tell them when you do your next webinar, can I appear as a specialist? All these people are looking for specialists all the time. Um, so I'm going to have to speed up whatever I want to tell you because soon it's going to be 1 hour in a few minutes. So what does it cost to set up your marketing campaign? Because I'm sure right now, this minute, you might be thinking, hey, I'm a movie producer, I'm a movie director, I'm whatever. How do I do this? And the answer is, A, we can help you. But besides that, you can get two or three young kids that they can work on their vacations, or in a couple of months, I think there's going to be a vacation, or there is a vacation. Who knows? I can never keep up with what's going on with the schools these days. And you can get kids to work with you for very, very little money. Depends on the law in your state because you cannot exploit them. But a lot of them will work for free just to get knowledge. But again, you have to check the law in the state about that. So young kids today all are like geniuses on the internet, and they probably know much more than you about maneuvering the internet. So you can use them to do the marketing for next to nothing. You can do a crowdfunding model that is basically uh, try to run things like a crowdfunding campaign. And I'm not going to go into all that right now, but there's endless books and information about how to do crowdfunding. But there you can learn very, very well about doing marketing in general because they have to advertise their crowdfunding. Uh, you may and that's so you may want to get two or three young kids, and may want to get a special media advertising person. That does not have to be full time. You may want to find somebody that works from home and knows how to do it. Again, all this you can find on Fiverr or Upwork or many other sites. Now is the time to tell you very quickly that if you employ somebody and you want it to be cheap, you have to look up a few things. First, see if he has a 5-star rating, 5-star. Don't take anybody who has less than 4 stars to do any work for you. Um, the stars are given by Fiverr, and also Fiverr has a higher class of people that work that cost more money. I forgot the name of it, but you can find it if you go on Fiverr. Um, and you can find specific people there on Fiverr to do specific things like PR or whatever. I'm not going to go into it right now, but make sure whatever materials you have look really professional, which again you can do very easily with somebody from Fiverr. Graphics you can do with a program called Canva, which is free, and you can do most amazing things. And now you can even download apps. Now you can even download apps from the internet that enable you free apps that enable you to do um, movies, very short movies of 30 seconds promoting your product or your movie or whatever it is. So that's really interesting. Um, so between using Canva, doing your own little advertising movies, getting kids for next to nothing on vacation, whatever, you can actually have a whole staff working for next to nothing. Okay, and now I'm going to plug something that we do. In a minute, I'll show it to you, which is that there's a major problem right now to get down payments for a movie. It's really, really difficult to get a down payment for movies today, or a lot of money. Um, so then you say, if I give the movie at no money, how do I know that I will get paid? So we have a product called ClickFlix, which means that we take your movie, we coat it with some special digital stuff, and every time somebody watches the film, you get notice of it. So if you gave it to a distributor for no money down, or very little money down, you can charge him per movie. So let's suppose he managed to show the film to 1 million people, and you told him that for every time he shows the film, you'll charge him 25 cents. Then you'll get paid $250,000. He can't deny it. He can't lie to you. He can't cheat you because you will have the list of everybody who watched it. You don't have their emails, obviously, but you do know when they watched it, where they watched it, and everything else. So if you're interested in a demonstration of that system, please contact me because it could be a fantastic solution for you to make money. Remember that in Nigeria, there's, I think, 250 million people living there, if I'm not mistaken. In India, you have 1.5 billion. In China, you have 1.5 billion. These are approximate numbers, obviously. If only a small percentage of people that watched your film and you got paid the 25 cents for your film, I would say it's big bucks. Um, uh, when you give a film for no money down, be very, very careful about doing it. And I'm not trying to beat myself up to tell you not to give me your films, but I'm being very honest with you because this is really, that's what it's all about. In most cases, don't give your films for no money down at all. Try to get something if you can. There's something crazy that when you give your films for no money down, it has less of a chance it's going to happen. So these are some of the sites which I'll show you that we have. Um, this is my information in case you want to contact me later on. In a minute, I'll open the chats, but I'm just going to show you some of our sites. Sorry, I don't know how to run this so well. So this is our main site. It's called Online Movies Box. It has close to 4,000 films and with many big stars. So when you want to watch a film, you click on it, and then people can either see the film or they can subscribe. Um, so if, let's say you wanted, you can have a site like this done for you within 1 minute, and you can put your films here. So people can watch your films and pay you for it. You might say, what's the advantage of this, doing this instead of my own site? The answer is that, well, whatever we charge for setup fee is so little that's a lot easier than having your own site built. Plus, you have thousands of films, so people are more likely to watch your film because people will be more impressed when you have a lot of films on, right? So this is our site. It's called um, iMoviesBox.com, and this is our site that you can go in, and within seconds you can set up a whole VOD platform similar to Netflix, right, with our films, and it could have your films here on the first line. And the beauty of it, if you charge people $4 to $5 a month, they can see unlimited films, and of course your films. But the beauty of it, you can charge them subscription fee. The subscription is $4 or $5. So if you only have 2,000 subscribers, it could bring over $200,000 a year just from 2,000 subscribers, which is not that difficult to do, right? You can have 1 million subscribers. You can have 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 subscribers will bring you over $1 million in revenue, plus your films. So this is a very, very good, potentially a very good business for you. This is our other site, which is a horror VOD, and it's divided by different genre, like zombie, vampire, slasher, ghost, whatever. So that is also available for white label licensing, which means we'll give you a whole site like this, and your film would be the #1 film here. So we press on zombie, and different things happen, right? Why would somebody want to see movies with cannibals and this kind of thing? It's totally beyond me, but it's very popular. I don't know. I guess for whatever reason, people watch it. I don't know why. So this is a sample of, let's say, a site. So your films can be here, right? Let's say the movie is Zorro. So you click on it. Now you want to see the movie. So it will come up with a menu that you can register, and within seconds you'll put your credit card, and now you can watch unlimited films for 1 month. Remember that even Amazon today charges between $4 and $20 to see films, even if you subscribe. So this is a bargain because they can see as many films as they want without paying a dime for it. You can do the same thing, I guess, on Hulu. That's correct. But Hulu charges without advertising close to $15 a month. So when you charge $3.99, it's very little money. I'm not comparing myself to Hulu, but it's still a lot of entertainment for this money. It's a joke to charge $4 and be able to see up to 4,000 films, good ones. So again, this site is divided to different genre, whatever. And as you can see, it works really fast. It's very easy to do the subscription, so it's really easy to do. Okay, so now I'm going to check the chats and see if anybody has questions. So does anybody have any questions? No, I don't see anybody has questions. I'm going to turn on the voice. You can all so you can all talk and between yourself, right?
I have a question.
Yes, please. Please.
Yes, you said you have a international reach across China and Japan, etc.
Everywhere. I am a China specialist. I went to China, and I know it sounds crazy, over 50 times over 7 years.
But there's a lot of, I mean, how do they, a lot of people have trouble accessing Amazon and Netflix, etc., outside of the United States and parts of Europe and out in those areas. Do they have easy access to your site?
Yeah, my site is visible anywhere in the world, and I was not trying to plug my site in China. I was licensing films to them. And I also, to this day, even have a video channel in China. But I worked unbelievable deals with companies in China to show my films. But unfortunately, Mr. Trump decided to have a fight with China one day. And it's hard to believe, but with just 2 Twitters, he killed the work that I had for 7 years there. And this happened to many companies that their business went dead in China like overnight, because the Chinese people are very nationalistic, much more than here. So if you hurt them, you upset them, all of them will gang up against you. They don't care. They just overnight they don't know you. This happened with Korea, and this happened with a lot of companies from the States.
Well, did that China and Korea open back up now that Trump is not president?
Well, Mr. Biden, he's not opening up anything. We don't know that he made peace with them. He still treats them like garbage. So I'm not here to talk politics, but he still treats them bad. And
But I mean, does that affect your site and your access to them?
well, I'm not welcome. It's not like I can go there. I can go there and do business there because they also blocked any film to come in there from America, except unless it's a big film. So there's only 30 films allowed, and maybe now even less. And all the other films were not given permission to come to China. So people cannot do business because they cannot license the film. Um, I do have a way to get back there because they're still very good friends with England for some reason. So you can do it.
So, excuse me, you have your online presence, but it sounds like you also work as a distributor then?
Yeah, our main business is distributors. Yes. We distribute films.
And what's the name of your distribution company?
Flixo.
Flix You.
Yes, if you are on this webinar, you probably got an email from me, so it does give you the information. But
I see. Okay.
so
All right. Thank you.
yeah, so China is a very, very good market, and they pay unbelievable prices for licensing. So that's why I was trying so hard. You can retire if you somehow hit a good wave in China. I mean, that's unbelievable business there because they have 20 at a year and 2 years ago they already had 25,000 movie theaters, and all of them need films. So we talk about big business.
Do you need the subtitle in Chinese though?
Usually, when you do a deal there, they will do the subtitles. But if you go to Fiverr, you can find people that will do it for you for $150. So if you really want to do it right, you should actually provide subtitles. It's a small investment.
But if there's no access to China right now, how do you market there?
I'm not going to say that you can market there right this minute. I don't know. I have not gone there. I mean, first of all, nobody can even land there right now until this month. And B, this business of Trump just retarded the whole business there. I mean, I'm literally afraid to go there right this minute. I'm not saying I'm going to be afraid in a month, but right this minute, I would not go there because I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I have to check with what's going on. I know it sounds bizarre, but that's what happened to many, many people. Many people, even from America, got kicked out, not because they're Americans, but by different stories that they made. Like they said that your visa is not good enough. You have to open a company in China, a real Chinese company. So many people don't want to do it. It costs $15,000, and now you have to register with the tax authorities. So a lot of people decide to leave China. Not even Americans from different nationalities. But China is going to be back. It's going to be back. It could be back even soon because maybe they'll decide that if you got vaccinated, you can come there. I don't know. Everything is possible with China. That's the beauty of China.
What's your reach in New Zealand and Australia and Tonga? I have a film about Tonga.
Well, again, it's all about focusing and marketing. We don't specialize in business in Australia. We do business there, but we never tried very hard in Australia because there's only a limited amount of people there. But they all speak English, so that's good. But you want to try different territories that have more people there. So I don't think it's such a hard idea to focus on Australia. You should focus on the world, or maybe Europe, or maybe the States.
Okay, thank you. I've been very dominating on this, so thanks very much.
Sure. Any other questions?
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you beautifully.
Hi, my name is Colonel Jones. I'm just calling. I'm actually a filmmaker, and I really loved your presentation. I wanted to ask you, what is the name of your site? Because I looked it up. Clickflixu.com. Is that it?
No, the site is called, my main site is called Online Movies Box.
Oh, okay. I took a picture of that. I did. I just didn't get the online movie box. Okay, and I want to tell you.
Plural, please.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Online Movies Box.
Okay.
Now, I have many sites because when people license a white label site from us, automatically we have more sites. So I have many sites. These are
Okay, that's fine. That's great. That's awesome. I was just really interested in the one that you were just recently speaking about, the one that you actually put your film there and you can put all your films and you can charge someone a subscription, which I think is a very genius idea. I actually had that idea a long time ago, but you probably have more money than me, but that's okay. I'm just interested in how does it work? Because I came in when I didn't even get your first name. What's your first name? I hate to talk to somebody I don't know.
I'm Sam.
Sam. Okay. It's a song MC Light used to say, I used to be in love with this guy named Sam, not me personally. But anyway, I was just wondering how it works. You have, it's like a distribution. I mean, I think it's lovely. So would I have to pay?
We charge money.
Okay.
A lot of money. And then you can create your own site and we simply open it up. Then you give us a name for the site, like your name is what? Lynette Films, for example. You give me a logo.
It's Jonesy Girl.
Johnson. You can also give me a logo. You can create a logo in 2 minutes now with programs that cost $30. So it's beautiful how easy it is. I created a logo the other day, $30. That's it. It costs nothing to create it. Just costs $30 to get a copy of it.
Right. I totally understand. Technology has come a long way, but my thing is bottom line up front. How much did you mention? I don't want to put you on the spot. Did you mention how much it will cost, or
we charge between $2,000 and $5,000 upfront fee, which is
okay, and that's all I would have to pay is the $2,000 to $5,000.
Yes, and from that, and it's fully refundable. That's the beauty of it. From the first money that comes in, you take the money.
Oh, okay. So do I get a special discount for being cute?
You're so cute, so I gave you the price of 2 to 5. We used to sell them for
2 to 5. Okay, all right. I got you. I understand. I'm just, no, I think it's really genius, and I'm really interested in that. I'm actually going to go to that site and check it out. And I mean, because it makes sense. I have a project. I have several projects on Amazon Prime, and I have a web series that I'm going to be shooting in the next 2 weeks. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to market that out. How I was going to market it and get people to come, and it'd be really nice to have the site set up and they can actually go in there and check out all the web series. We have 10 episodes.
Yeah, you can make big money in the movie business, but most people miss out on that opportunity because they don't market the film. Once you market it, you can make big bucks, because if you had even 500,000 people watch it, each one paying you, like I just mentioned before, you can make some very serious money. Don't look at just how much you're going to pay for subscription. A guy who watches your film is a customer. You can sell him many other things because you have his email. So now you can sell him merchandising, your next film. Maybe you're going to do a drive-in thing, which we also do. You can do, for example, you can do a drive-in, which means that you get a parking lot for you. You can get usually up to 200 cars. It's a makeshift movie theater. And then you can get a very high, we can do all that for you, a very high powered projector. And you can actually charge people $50 a car, or $40 a car to come and see it on Saturday night. That's very powerful.
Oh, that's too much in the States. I mean, that's great. I mean, I go to the movie theater, the drive-in, I want to pay $50. But I hear what you're saying. So but I want to know, would you be willing to donate the popcorn?
No. So charge $20. But charge them money for popcorn, food, dinner. You can serve them dinner, right? Dinner is $25.
Oh, nice. I never thought about going into the service industry. Oh, I am a service industry person. Sorry about that. Hey, I'm trying to make you laugh, Sam. You seem real serious, but it's okay. Do you?
I'm not serious. I actually used to organize comedy shows, drive-in comedy.
What? You was a comedian? I'm going on YouTube to look you up.
No, I'm not a comedian, but I like to laugh and I like comedies. The only films I ever watch is comedies, by the way. So I like comedies. And obviously I watch Seinfeld every night. That's obvious.
Okay. All right. That's fair. But Sam, I definitely want to check out your online movies with an S box. Yeah. And I'm really interested in that. It seems like a very cool model.
One more item you can write down is the one you can create a site or within seconds. It's called iMoviesBox.com. iMoviesBox.com.
iMoviesBox.com.
And then you can create
movies with an S, right?
Yeah. And then
iMoviesBox.com.
You can create a trial system for 3 days, and then you don't have to pay anything.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to pay something because 3 days is not enough, Sam.
I said it's a sample, so you can try it out and see how it works.
Oh, Like when I bought my Porsche, they didn't let me try. Oh, they did let me test drive it. Sorry about that.
I
My
got
bad.
news, I got news for you, which most people don't know. If you buy a car in Los Angeles, I don't know where you live, you have 2-3 days that you can change your mind and say, I don't like the car, and give it back. And most people don't know that.
That's no fun.
That's a lot of fun. That's what you should do to teach them a lesson.
That's no fun. You get spoiled and you have to give it back. I don't like that. But no, thank you,
Why?
Sam.
If they cheated you and sold you a lousy car, you should be able to give
Oh
it back.
no, I carry a 9mm. No one would cheat me. No one.
We in LA don't work with the 9mm system.
Well, I do. I work with a 9mm and an M16, so I'm good. Hey, but thank you, Sam. It was good information, and you'll definitely be hearing from me. Hey, David, what's up? Thanks again for creating this this site. I appreciate you, David. Hi, David.
Hey.
David, like, who are you?
Hi.
Whatever. Okay.
Hello, Sam. I just
Yes.
want to make sure I had that. I came in a little late. I had an audition. So I wanted to make sure I had that down. So it's online movies box.
onlinemoviesbox.com. And if you want to create your own site, it's called iMoviesbox.com. I'll send an email to everybody.
Okay, thank you.
I have a really quick question. So I just wanted a little more clarity on, so you upload the film to your site for $3,000 to $5,000, and that's for QC or whatever. And then every subscriber that I bring to the site, I get paid their subscription fee. Is that how it works, or how do you get paid?
Okay. We charge between $2,000 to $5,000 to give you the site.
Right.
We upload your film. You don't upload the film. We
Right.
have to, like you said, QC, make sure it's okay, people can watch it. So we do that. That's our business, to upload your film.
Got that.
Now, everybody that comes in to watch the film, right? You get 75% of whatever money comes in, and we take 25%.
But I thought once they pay a subscription, they can watch any movie they want. So they're
But-
not paying individually for movies, right?
But this is your subscriber. So as a result, this is your customer. So whatever they watch, you still get paid.
So if I bring a friend in to subscribe,
Yes.
I get 75% of that $3.99
Yes. Plus
for
merchandise.
everyone that I bring to your site.
Yes.
I get it. Okay, thank
But
you.
don't-
That's all
and we also teach you how to bring customers, how to find organic
I
customers.
understand that. Yeah, I was just wondering how that broke down. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's-
That's $399.
What, $3.99.
Oh, $3. Okay, thank you.
But you're welcome to pay $3.99. We take anyone.
I'm quite sure.
Any more questions? I'm happy to answer.
Hey, Sam.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fine.
Yeah. So I'll be getting in touch with you because I got a documentary as well as I got another feature that I'm working on
Right.
that I'm going to be wanting to advertise. Yeah. So I'll be getting in touch with you in the middle of this month.
What kind of documentary is it?
It's a documentary. It's a woman. She's from Louisiana, and her son was 17, and he went to Texas. He got in trouble, and they gave him a 40-year prison sentence. So it's like going to be a 3-part series on that. So it's going to be really good.
This is America.
That's right. Yes.
What was the #1 song in America 2 years ago? What was it? In the Grammys. Which hip hop song was #1 in America 2 years ago?
In the Grammys.
I guess
Man, it's kind of early.
it's
I'm
called.
saying Bruno Mars.
No, no, the name of the song was "This Is America."
This is America. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right.
So you hit the nail on the head. This is America. We're very angry, but we still live here. So that's what happened.
Right, yeah. Hey, it's the only place we got to be right now. That's right.
Angry America.
That's right.
We live in the
Good
country.
name for a movie.
It is.
We live in a country that the third of the country is hungry or doesn't have enough to finish the month. But the main thing, the 2/3 are making a fortune. That's how it is.
That's right. Yeah. We all be in line. That's the good thing about it. We all can get in line. Yes.
But the film industry offers you an opportunity to make some very serious money. And if you don't believe it, just come here to LA, go to Beverly Hills. And every second house in the most expensive areas is from a movie guy, a guy who does business in movies. So it's a big business, and you can make a
Yes.
fortune. And
Yeah,
not to mention that Netflix is one of the biggest companies on Wall Street. They're worth
it is.
hundreds of billions or some kind of a crazy number. They have
Yes.
200 million subscribers going to 500 million subscribers according to them. So it's a big business. Now all you need is 1,000 subscribers and you can make already all kinds of money. So it's a very rich business. You just need to go and get the money. That's all. It's there for you. It's a lot easier than even selling real estate or anything like that, long distance, which they teach you, and all this kind of money. And those courses, they cost as much as $5,000. And all they teach you is a couple of videos on how you can go and buy an imaginary house in Oklahoma or something and make a fortune, which is all BS, you know. The film industry offers you a real thing, and you don't have to necessarily make films because we offer you a few ways to make a lot of money. If you
Yes.
let me give you an example very, very quickly. Let's suppose, and I'm not trying to plug myself in, I'm just giving an example. That's all. I'm not trying to, shave off anybody. We have this system that every time somebody watches your film, you get paid, right? So let's say you got paid 25 cents, right? Now let's suppose that you made a documentary, and I'm not going to bullshit you. Documentaries is a tough sell. It's not that easy.
I know.
But
Yeah.
let's suppose you did appeal to people, let's say in another country, right? So I mentioned before, Nigeria there's 250 people, and India there's 1.5 billion people, China 1.5 billion people. Let's suppose that just 1%, and I'm telling you it's possible, of people in China watched your film. 1%, 1 out of 100 Chinese characters, right? How much is that? 150 million people, right?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yeah, it's about 150 because it was 1.5 billion. Yeah, so it's about 150 million.
Right. Now 150
Yeah.
million people. Now I'm not going to try to drive you nuts. If they paid you only 10 cents a film, forget about 25 cents a film, you'll be sitting at $15 million. And it could happen very quickly. And I gave an example of this movie star that had a one-off showing of his documentary, by the way. And he cashed $740,000 in 1 hour. I mean, which business in the world you can get that kind of money? Really? I mean, of course, in the stock market, but that's a different story, and that's for your own film. So if you have a very, very hot film that you think you can show in the premiere, and I didn't talk in this course about so many other things you can do, including digital premieres, and you charge good money for the premiere, right? You can make all kinds of big money, especially if it's a digital premiere, because you have unlimited people can watch it, right? So I'm just giving an example. So let's suppose you charge $20 a film, $20 to see the film, just as an imagination, and there'll be a digital premiere, which means all kinds of beautiful chicks, ladies, will walk on the red carpet, imaginary. And by the way, there's such technology today that you can do it all imaginary. So a woman could be just walking, and it will look like she's walking on a red carpet. It's amazing the kind of technology you have out there.
That's no fun though.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's a lot of fun because it's all imagination.
No, we want real hot women.
No, it's a real woman, but the real woman will be on in a situation where she looks like she's walking on red carpet. Just an example. So this is just mind-boggling, So you can do a digital show. You can charge $20 a film. There's all kinds of possibilities.
Yeah. That's correct.
So does anybody have any more questions? You can also talk among yourselves, which is another thing. You want to connect with each other. That's the beauty of Zoom.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Yeah, my name is Milton Crane, your own producer. I'm in California. So I'm gonna put my email is in the chat. So anybody want to reach out to me, you can. I've been in this business ever since 2012, and I got 3 features that I have in development, and I'm also doing a documentary. So those are my specialties.
I don't see your email address.
Now I'm gonna put it into the now.
All right, Milton, hurry up. Burning
All right.
daylight.
Running daylight.
Who wants a military term?
I hear you.
Hey, Sam, I have another question. You mentioned Hulu, and my film was up on Hulu, and I was just wondering, companies like Hulu and Tubi or Tubby, whatever it is, how do you get paid on those if you're going through?
I got news for you. You don't. You wasted time.
That's what I thought. Unfortunately,
Most if you ask most producers today, a lot of them, they'll say my film is on, let's say, on Amazon, because anybody can go on Amazon.
right.
But how much money are you going to make on Amazon? Peanuts compared to what you spend on the film. I was on another site. I won't mention the name. They paid us 1 penny per showing. 1 penny.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And it took us 6 months to put 2,000 films on that site. 1 penny. I took it off. I lost a fortune in time and effort, but I took it off. You know, and
We've actually-
Amazon is very problematic, by the way, because if anybody complains about your film or says it's his, they'll take you off. They don't even ask you questions. They just take you off. And then all you can talk to is emails. There's no human
Yeah.
being that you can talk to. There's no phone number to call. You don't know who's behind the email, and they'll take you off, and it's done. It's so dangerous.
Amazon, yeah, you're correct there, Sam. So Amazon's tough. We work with them quite a bit. We actually have a good relationship with Tubi, though. We've got films that are making thousands of dollars a month there, and
How
that
do you get paid for those? So mine was just on Tubi for the last several months. And what I heard is as the filmmaker makes pennies, like Sam said.
well, it depends on who you're going through with Tubi for sure. I mean, if you go through an aggregator that you don't have a good deal with, a good agreement, you're not going to do well. And as well, I hear horror stories from people working with folks that just don't pay money. If you work with somebody good who is honorable and delivers, then it's a totally different story.
Well, I don't know. My attorney, I just got paid off on suing the last aggregator for doing that, not giving me any money. He said that Tubi just makes, pennies for the filmmaker. He said you're losing pennies because they said they had taken it down a month ago and it's been on Tubi ever since.
Well,
And I know
I'll also say we have films that with Tubi, it's an ad supported. It's what they call AVOD. It's ad supported. So it totally depends on how many views your film is getting and the ads that then flow as a part of that film.
Hello?
And
Hey, what's
when
up,
you
Red?
do,
Let me call you back in about 10 minutes. I'm on a webinar. Okay.
So anyway, your film really drives it. And so we've got some films on there that only deliver a few dollars a week. It depends on the kind of marketing, as Sam points out. Even when your film is on a platform, well, when you want to leverage these platforms, and you still want to be doing marketing and raise awareness and let people know that there are lots of places to watch the film. And if you have your own platform or a platform of choice, you drive a lot of your traffic to there. But then the role of somebody like Tubi is they've got millions of folks that watch films, and they're always looking for new films to watch. The best films we see that do well on Tubi are edgier films, but we've got if you've got we have other films that aren't as edgy, and it depends on what your attorney calls pennies, but like I said, we've got some films that are averaging at least $1,000 a week on there right now. And then I've got films that are averaging, a few dollars a week, and it's all across the board.
So you're saying if I drive people to Tubi and they watch the film, my advertising dollars will go up because Tubi will recognize that it's bringing in more money than some other film. So they'll drive their advertising towards my film.
Oh, no,
if I market that.
It isn't so much that. It's just that you just get there are ads on all the films, and you get paid based on the traffic. It really is based on how much your film gets watched.
Okay, so it's not, it won't increase based on how many people I send to or not that, but I mean, the kinds of advertisers that might want to advertise during my film.
Yeah, and that all gets managed by Tubi. So, that's the advantage. They just take care of all that. The one, I like what Sam talks about is it's good to have your own place that if you're spending the money for the marketing and being able to direct traffic, I think it makes sense to direct to, to direct a lot of traffic yourself, direct it to a place where you can develop a relationship with that viewer, whether it's for digitally or a physical media. And then, but it's also good to have your film in a lot of different spots so that you can leverage the traffic that just naturally occurs at a different platform.
Yeah. Well, that's what Sam had talked about last week, I think, was exclusivity, which was like I signed a contract like that and it just killed me. I totally dependent on one guy to bring in income, and I'm sure they made a lot of money on it because
that's why we offer a website that you can have your film there. The advertising is about that site. Okay, so everybody that comes in, you make money from. Now, if you get paid, let's say on your percentage, $3 or $4 subscription, you can also ask for $10 subscription. So you get paid with $3. How much do you think it's going to cost you to drive somebody to watch your site? At most, maybe $1. So you make the spread. And that's how you make money. Even if you got hundreds of dollars from YouTube or thousands, it's still peanuts because it costs you maybe, I don't know how much was your budget, but with your lawyer and all the stories and lawsuits and this and that, you're probably into millions of dollars there. How are you going to ever recoup this money? By putting on tubing, making some bookcase? Nothing. So that's why this is not a solution. It's good to be. All of these sites are not a solution. You're never going to make a fortune from them. I used to have 600 films on Amazon, and I took them off because it wasn't worth it for me. Because once it's on Amazon, they don't watch the films at my customer sites, at my site. So the film is diluted. You see, you understand. And you want to make it like it's hard to see it, but yet you advertise to the segment of the population that may want to watch your particular film. That's the business here. Okay, the niche of your film. You have to find a niche. I don't know what your film was all about, but you have to find a niche and just hit that niche. And it's an ROI, which means how much you spend to how much you get, right? That's the business. So I personally don't believe in Tubi and Amazon and all that because Amazon has 200,000 films. Why would anybody want to watch your film? I'm not insulting your film. I'm just saying, how will they find it? How will they know about it? Right?
Well, you have to market just like you would market to your site, right? Same thing.
Yeah. Yes, but how much are you going to get for them for each customer that's going to see your film?
I don't know.
What 30 cents? 30 cents? What is it you get from them? And
yeah, they've lowered the price, and Amazon has basically stopped taking any documentaries at this point. They're even pulling them off.
Yeah, and the worst part of it about Amazon that they can take off all your films with one click of a mouse because some idiot said that it's his film. It could be probably it's a total lie, but they'll believe him.
Yeah.
I had one guy that complained that the film that I posted on Amazon was his, and I have no permission. But he forgot conveniently that he signed an agreement with me a few days before I put it on Amazon. You know what? Amazon refused to listen. The moment he complained, and I even made him write a letter of forgiveness to Amazon writing, I'm so sorry, I forgot I signed the contract. Amazon did not put back the film. So I got tired of it. I don't want to count on that nothing income from them. And then one day they stop because of any bullshit from somebody, and suddenly that income is not there. So I just decided not to deal with them anymore, and I don't need them. I just don't need them because it's not worth it. When you have your own film, your own marketing, your own thing, and you distribute it worldwide, you make much more money than diluting the film by making it available everywhere, right? Unless it's a very talked about film and everybody wants to see it, fine. Then be on Amazon, be on Tubi, whatever, because you want to make it available. But if it's more limited, you don't want to deal with those companies because those companies will never give you a dime. Or when I say never give you a dime, I mean, they give you nothing money. It's not worth the trouble even.
Well, when you say you charge a range between $2,000 and $5,000, what's the difference between a $2,000 deal and a $5,000 deal?
Well, if it's somebody who wants us to put films there, and it's more than a few films, we charge 5,000. We also charge 5,000 for 3 years license and 2,000 for 1 year license.
Oh, I see.
So 1 year
one
license.
film would be 2,000 for
No. You can put we charge $2,000 upfront fee, and we will upload up to 10 films free of charge for that $2,000. But it's a license for 1 year. If you want a license for 3 years, it's $5,000. It's very simple.
Yeah.
This includes all technical support. You never have to worry about technology. You never have to worry about anything. We maintain this site. We're in business 15 years. We're not a high-tech company, startup that's starting yesterday. We're doing it for 15 years, all this kind of thing. We know the business in and out. And we can also advise you on advertising it or whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So if this film's already been QC'd, because mine has, because it's just coming back to me actually today, well, maybe yesterday. If it's already QC'd, it's still 2,000. So if you don't
I
have to
thought
do
2,000,
QC or
whatever,
the
because
captions or any of that.
the 2,000, by the way, is totally refundable because the first money that comes in, you get 100% of the money until you recoup your $2,000 or $5,000. That's the beauty of the situation.
And your filmmakers set their own subscription fees. So I go to your website, like on my website, I'd say go to you. I'd have them click on the film and it would roll to your website, you know, for $3 or $4.99 or whatever I decide to charge them. I can set that fee.
I don't understand the question at all.
You said that you can charge them $9.99 or you can charge them $3.99.
Yeah, it's up to you. We set up the PayPal. There's a PayPal mechanism or payment mechanism. So we set up the price based on you, whatever you like. You can set up the price. It's no problem.
Are you exclusive?
What is the? No, we're not exclusive.
Okay, thanks.
And never sign a contract with anybody unless it gives you a huge down payment for exclusivity, because that's not fair to you. But most distributors do, even if they don't give you a dime. So never ever make a deal with no money down, or even if they gave you money for exclusivity. Exclusivity is basically the death of your film.
It's true. Happened to me.
A lot of distributors have such audacity, they'll even charge you money for trying to distribute your film. Believe it or not, even that is happening. A friend of mine paid $35,000 to some idiot distributor so he will distribute his film. I think that's ridiculous. But people do that. People
Happened
get
to me.
mesmerized.
Same thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's that word you said is ridiculous that they do that?
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Let's say you're
Charge an advertising.
What was that word you guys used for that? Passivity or something like that?
Exclusivity.
Yeah. Like being exclusive to one distributor. That's what I
Okay.
did.
All
And
right,
they
thank you.
charged 30,000 up front. I mean, they didn't charge me, but it came off the top. And they said they were going to use that money for advertising, but they never advertised the film. They just took whatever income, and I marketed as hard as I could. So I know they got some income. I mean, my film's called Woodstock or Bust. And so I actually went to Woodstock on the 50th anniversary and drove across the country and advertised it all the way across the country and had my car wrapped with the logo and everything like that. So, you know, whatever advertising was done, I did it. I went on talk shows, I did radio shows, you know, all that stuff. And they never did anything, but they kept taking money off the top of the 30,000 that I owed them for advertising. So that, yeah, I learned an expensive lesson.
In this business, just like any business, you have to leave things to the experts.
Yeah.
You're a filmmaker, stick with that. Don't try to be a liquor store owner. That's the
It
problem.
would be nice, but you know, when you're an independent filmmaker, you have to be everything.
Well,
you know?
we offer you this service. We give you the site. We also help you, whatever it is. So we offer you all that because that's our business. This is what we do for 15 years. Okay.
What is the purpose of the trial system on the iMovieBox.com?
How it works.
How are you benefiting from that?
I don't benefit anything from the
No,
trial.
no, no. The person that's gonna put the trial up.
He will see how it works. He will see how beautiful the site works, how fast it works, and he will decide if he wants to go ahead with the deal. It's a trial system. That's all. You have to understand, I don't make any money from you giving me $2,000 or $5,000 for the system. I'm only going to make money if you will really promote your film and you will make money and you bring a lot of subscribers. This is how we make money. And in reality, I would give you the site for free, but I don't know that you're going to promote it. So the nature of life is that if I charge you money, then you will promote it. There's a good chance. If I don't charge you a dime, you say, "Oh, this idiot gave me a site for free. I don't want to bother." And this is my experience of 50 years.
You're so right.
You know, we used to be on a site called Wix. I don't know if you know Wix. And we had an app in there that you can create your own site. When we first launched on Wix, we had no less than 3,000 people that had a free website with all of our films. But you know what? Very few of them did anything. Some of them were crooks that somehow managed to make money without us making a dime. God knows how. That's when you give away things for free. So we're saying to you, pay us 2,000. Okay, it's livable, right? The cost of dinner is $100 now, you know, and then deduct it from the first one that comes in. What could be more than fair than that? If you don't believe that you're going to get enough customers or subscribers to get back your 2,000, don't be in the film business. You have to believe in your own film, you know.
Yeah. So right.
So I'm
Yeah,
looking for
have to
people
believe.
that will promote and get subscribers. That's what I'm interested in, because that's such a big business, you know. That, and don't forget that we can also get merchandising involved with your film. So when they click on your film and watch it, at the end they can buy merchandising in case you have merchandising or you have other things to offer them. When you have the email of a customer or and his phone number especially, you got yourself somebody that is a money machine for you. Not millions, but $100, $200. Everything is possible. If he watched two of your films and bought merchandise for both of them and some T-shirts, you're talking about hundreds of dollars. If you have children and you have a children's movie, right? All your kids will want to buy T-shirts. The movie Frozen made 10 times more from just merchandising than the actual film. Everywhere you go, there's Frozen, right? If you go 99-cent store, you'll find Frozen everywhere. That's business. This is the movie business. That's how people make so much money. But the majority of people don't, because they don't look into the nuts and bolts of the business. They just look into making the film, but they never think, you know, it's like I'm a very big fan of Seinfeld. So there's one episode where Seinfeld was making reservations for a car. So when you got to get the car, they said, we don't have a car for you. So what did Seinfeld said? You know how to take the reservation, but you don't know how to keep the reservation and give me a car, right? Anybody watches Seinfeld probably remembers that slogan, which is so funny. Same thing with the movie business. You make the film, go make money out of it. Don't just make a film, make a fortune. Maybe it's a good film. Maybe even if it's not a great film, you can still make very serious money. Depends on your budget. That's the main thing. And if you have a name actor, if you have a name actor, you're on your way to make money. For sure. You can make money from any film, basically, unless it's a terrible film. You know, one of the films that we offer has many big stars, and it's so terrible I was never able to watch it till the end. I'm sorry. I'll tell you the name of it. It's called, we distribute it. It's called Nobody Said Anything or something like that. It has many of the biggest name stars you can think of, and even music from Black Eyed Peas, of all things. But it's such a terrible movie. I was never able to watch it beyond the first minutes because it's just horrific. And I told that to the producer because I'm very honest. Of course, the producer hates me, but that's the way it goes, you know.
Yeah.
I have a question. So when you say it's $2,000 for up to 10 films,
Yeah.
is it a case where you could go in with a friend of yours who has another film and together?
I don't care. What do I care? We're not money-making guzzlers. We're not interested in money. We just want to do business. You know, we're not into you know, all kinds of limits and craziness and little tiny little words where we put shit in there. You know, I'm sorry about the word. You know,
So you could get 10 friends together, each has a movie, and then
get
it's $200 each. And then you could help promote each other's films and get 10 times the efforts.
If you can get more people with you and you all work on it, you will make money. It just takes a little work, not that much work as much as you think it is. It's all digital now. You don't even have to do anything physical. The businesses moved into digital, even digital advertising. So you could be sitting in your home with your underwear and make a fortune. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to drive anywhere. It's all totally digital. It is absolutely smashing what's going on today, what you can do marketing wise, apps. By the way, we also offer an app. So in case you want to license the app, then you can feature your movies on all the on phones. You know, that's very
Is that a separate fee or is that part of it?
because that we have to do manually. It's not automatic. So we have to put your films online and we have to modify the app for you because we have to put your name, your logo, whatever. But that's manual, and those kind of engineers are very expensive. So we have to charge you. We hope to have some kind of a white label system sooner than later, because there are now new apps out there which might enable you to do it much faster. But it's very powerful, because if you put a good app out there, millions of people could download it. By the way, you can decide that you don't want to charge money. You want to go the Tubi model, and you just want to get money out of advertising, right? So that's another. We offer that too. So imagine if you have a good app and millions of people watch it. Download it, and some people watch your films. You make money from advertising. Advertising is can bring lots of money. Tubi was formed for $40 million, and after 2 years, it was sold for 400 million. And there's another site similar to Tubi, I forgot the name, Fubi or something, and they did the same thing. They had spent $40 million to set it up, and was sold for $400 million after 2 years. It's a lot of money, and AVOD is going higher and higher and higher. It's almost 50% of the business now, free against advertising. So
Hey, Sam.
yes.
Hey, I do understand that you have your online models for your distribution for, what we've been talking about, your iMovies. But do you work as a traditional distributor where you take on a film?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And could you talk about how you do that? Do you have any upfront monies, or do you have percentages that you could discuss?
No, we distribute to over 50 countries, including China, Japan, Indonesia, who knows where. All over the world, sometimes to crazy places. And we don't charge you anything, obviously. You give us the film and we distribute it. It's just that simple.
But do you have any upfront monies that you pay the filmmaker? A deposit, I guess you're calling it.
Unless you have a famous star in the movie, we will not pay you. And currently, people just don't pay down payments. It's a terrible thing, but people don't pay.
So what's the percentage split? Do you have marketing fees or?
No, we only take 20%, and you get 80%. 20% distribution fee is very low in the industry.
Would that include your getting on your online models, on your apps, etc.?
Yeah. Automatically, you will be on our online app, on the first page, even, because we want to promote your movie. We only make money if you make money.
Is your distribution company called iFlux, or
No?
what's your actual?
It's called
what's your distribution?
It's called Flixo. We have nothing to do with
Flixo.
Yeah, there is a company called iFlix. Yes. Flixo. Flix and the letter U. I will be sending an email to everybody, and you will see.
So, do you have any examples of average kind of revenues that you get for your titles?
It's very hard to say, because it depends on your film, and depends on God knows how many factors, and things are changing very rapidly because of the corona phenomena. So a lot more people watch at home. So it could change very rapidly.
And it's non-exclusive?
Absolutely non-exclusive.
So you really got nothing to lose, really?
No, because you can go and try to give it to Tubi and Amazon. We don't even bother with them. We don't distribute to them. And you can do Amazon on your own. You don't need me. You can just go on some kind of a site, I forgot the name of it, and just do the film with their standards and upload it. And it's online, free of charge. You don't need me. Don't believe anybody wants to charge you for it. You don't need this. You can
do we need to do things like other language subtitles, or?
With Amazon, you may want to do it if you want people from other countries.
No, for your site.
No. If somebody from overseas wants to license it, in most cases they put their own translation. The reason for
so Flixo is more English language only.
It's not only English language, because I have sold films to China and I put Chinese translations in them, and I actually have a website to this day in China, a video channel that we did put subtitles on some stuff that we put in there. Not all of it, but some of it. So it's all there. But remember, in China, there's 1.5 billion people, and about 1% speaks English. So that's enough of a percentage. Even an English film will get some activity there.
I have a question. So I got a message from Cine Market this morning in Berlin, because they're doing the Berlin Film Festival right now.
EFM.
And pardon me?
It's called EFM.
EFM.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Cine Market, so it must be their side market to the festival. And they're actually asking me to sell, to be a buyer or a seller. And I'm wondering, if I should, they're asking me to put my film up there on like as a seller, I guess. Is that crazy?
No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to dilute your films. Okay. If you don't get money for your films, unless they offer you a real distribution business, what's the point? You will put your film there and they'll steal it.
Well, so I'm putting my trailer up there right now, but
Trailer's fine. Trailer's fine. The trailer should have a link to your film. And if you want to make a deal with us or with anybody else, then they can see the film at your place, not at their place. It's like inviting somebody to your home. Right? Just think of the physical item, right? It's a physical item. Let's talk about the film as a physical item. Where do you want people to come and get it? From your home or from some home in Berlin? It's just that simple. How are you going to get?
Well, in Berlin, I can reach, the other countries, which, I'm not sure my film ever, I know it's sold to one Middle Eastern country, but I don't know if it's sold to any other one.
You can offer to start anywhere. We have a mailing list of 40,000 people that, some of them license films. But the best way to make money is just to do your own thing. That's it. Any other way, I don't know. Can we sell it to distributors worldwide? Maybe. But it's hard to get money to them. I'm telling you, I'm being very, very honest. If you notice, I'm really kicking myself because I'm giving you tips against myself. I don't mind. I'm very honest. It's just my nature. I don't care about money. I care about doing the right thing. So I'm giving you advice, which is kicking myself. What I'm trying to tell you is that it's very hard to get upfront money today, unless you have a major star and it's a brand new film. Now, we discussed that your film is not brand new. That by itself right away kills the down payment. Because as far as they're concerned, since it was shown already, it's an old film. Not old, but it's not a new film. And believe it or not, I'm 15 years in the business, and it kills me why they decide that some film is old after 2 years. I cannot answer this question. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Could you talk about distributing documentaries? I know it's challenging, but do you handle documentaries?
Yes, why not?
And what are the challenges in documentary distribution right now? I know there's some challenges.
No, not necessarily. Depends what your documentary is all about. Our top films are documentaries, actually. The ones that we make the most business today is documentaries. So it's not necessarily, don't just sit and believe everything you read in the trade papers, because that has nothing to do with your film. It could be something to do with the big films, but not necessarily your film. Our top sellers and distributed films are usually documentaries, not regular films. Regular films too, but obviously, but the top sellers today for us is documentaries, mainly music documentaries. Any more questions, or you want to chat with each other, or whatever? Because I have to go in 2 minutes because I have a webinar with my children.
So this is how often are you having these?
Once a week, and next week I will have one that's going to be more focused on the legal side of distribution. Because if your movie gets stuck because of a legal problem, then you cannot distribute it. So it's going to be more focused on the legal side of things.
Okay, thank you, Sam.
My pleasure.
All right, thanks, Sam.
Thanks,
You'll be
Thanks,
in contact
Sam.
in a couple of days, Sam.
Imagine that today you meet your children online on Zoom. That's the new world. But now you know where the movie business is going.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Well, thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody. All right.